I just wanted to do a quick update on this. Unfortunately, my relationship with the MK3 Ecoboost 1 litre is about to end. I've just got to 90,000 miles, and the low oil pressure light has come on, which is it's just a picture of an oil can, a red oil can on the dash. And unfortunately it was driven down to the shops and back like that, with the tappets sounding like a box of rattlesnakes. So who knows what damage is done to the engine. The car, when we purchased it, is category S. It was only some light rear door and the pillar damage, so it's no big deal. But unfortunately the resale value of the car is going to be really low. It's done 90,000 category S, so it's not worth spending any money on. So but the reason for the video is just the Ecoboost has got a pretty poor reputation in the trade, and you've probably heard that it's referred to as an Ecoboom, which is possibly a bit unfair, but I think it's a pretty good engine. But unfortunately, I didn't realise. So I've replaced the hose, as you might have seen. There's a hose that goes over the turbo that's renowned for getting brittle and snapping, and then the coolant dumps out of the engine and seizes. So that's one reason the car's referred to as an Ecoboom. The other reason, which I've just found out, is the timing belt and the oil pump belt are they're probably not rubber, but they're rubber belts, material belts that are inside the engine, so they're wet belts, and they degrade. So if you don't replace them nice and early, you run the risk of them, they don't snap, but they degrade. So as they're degrading, pieces of the material will come off, and they tend to congregate in the oil pickup, and they start blocking up the oil pickup. So after a while you start getting low oil pressure, and this causes problems. Obviously, you know, you don't want no oil being pumped around the engine. So you know, this is what's happened to my car. So I'm getting the oil pressure. It sounds really tappety, so I mean, no doubt there's been damage to the engine, and it's a really expensive job. I'll link in the notes to a video of a guy who really explains it clearly, how to replace the belts, and it's a horrible job. And I spoke to one of the mechanics I trust in the town here, and he said he's not willing to do it because it's a horrible job, and he's got no way of guaranteeing his work, because you know there could be other bits of rubber around inside the engine that's going to block it up and seize again. He said he did it once for a mate of his, charged him, like, this is sort of anecdotal stuff, but he charged £1,400. I've seen other quotes on chats in forums and stuff that are similar kind of money, you know, €2,000. So I'm assuming the job would normally cost around you know, 1,500, 1,400 kind of mark, which is quite a bit when you're talking about one of these cars that's got 80 or 90,000 miles on the clock. In the service manual, I think you're supposed to replace the belts at 80,000, which is probably maybe worth it if you've, I don't know. I mean, the resale of these cars isn't huge, so it's quite a big investment to spend 1,500 quid at a car that's done 80 or 90,000 miles. But I guess the main point of this is, you know, definitely if you're planning on keeping the car, be aware that you're going to have to invest you know, over £1,000 in the car as it's sort of getting older. Otherwise you're going to end up, you know, seizing it with no oil being pumped around the engine. So that's it. You know, I tried to get ahead of the Ecoboom part by replacing the hose that goes over the turbo, so that got rid of that problem. But unfortunately I wasn't aware of the problem where the belts degrade and block up the oil flow inside the engine, so my car's now trashed. So I've now replaced it with a non-Ford sitting in the back there. I've decided to sort of go a bit different and try a Dacia Duster, so we'll see how that goes. I've got a couple more videos to post around the Focus though. One of them's around the clutch. We had a problem where some air got in there, but yeah, so I'll still do a couple of videos, but I just thought I'd post this to let you know. Don't go past the 80,000 miles on the timing belt and oil belt.